Okay, guys, it is Sunday, September 25th. We are back at it again with the portfolio update. Let's start off with some housekeeping. If you found your way here by means other than being in the Bag Chasers, please make sure to hit a like and subscribe. My Bag Chaser fam, please hit a like and subscribe. As always, this is going to be going to the Bag Chasers roughly 72 hours before the public gets it. That's just the way it is. Also, with housekeeping, if you're trying to get a hold of me to ask any questions, Bag Chasers is going to be the avenue to do that. The link to the Patreon for that is in the description. It is not my Patreon. That money does not go to me. So just know that it's just a way for me to honor the platform and the people and the group and the network that spawned this channel, having this playlist on this channel with this focus and this topic. I wouldn't be doing any of the stuff that I was doing if it wasn't for them. And so for the first year of this channel, exclusively, if you've got a direct, if you don't already have a direct line to me, that's the only means of a direct line to me. Like you can drop questions in the comments. Obviously, like I do respond to my comments, but outside of that, like direct question, any type of back and forth stuff like that, you're gonna need to get a hold of me through the Bag Chasers. You're gonna have to join that Patreon. It's just what it is. So let's jump into it. This is gonna be a short video this week. Not a bunch happened. Obviously, the market's red. Everything's red except for Ohm. Ohm turned green on the 7-day for me. That's my largest holding at present. It will not be my largest holding once everything's said and done. Actually, yeah, it will. I don't have enough time left this year to outpace that position. So that position is just going to be what it is. So, um, but I'm whittling down at it as much as possible because I'm not actively buying that position right now. This week I executed my dollar cost average. I decided to hold off last week because of the Fed announcement. I wanted to see how that was going to shake the market up. It did what I thought it was going to do. There were way better entry points this week, so that's when I made my buy. Instead of doing it Friday last week, I did it Friday this week. Got a better deal than Friday the week prior. Got a little bit more coin out of it, as you can see, the Ethereum holding here. And the other thing that happened was I took my Olympus DAO, the extra coins that I compounded over the week. I converted those over into GMX coins, which is down here, so I'm growing this position. It will be working its way up this list eventually. I'm only using what this is kicking out to fund that position because I am diversifying out of this position, which is the Olympus DAO position, if you're listening, because it's a large holding and I'm not a fan of putting all the eggs in one basket. Like I've got a really healthy position there. If it goes back up, you know, overall I'm above my entry point as is, so like I'm sitting good, but I don't see a reason in really throwing all my money behind any one position that's not Bitcoin or Ethereum because those are my two main holdings. Outside of that, I am not comfortable with literally anything else. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like I have other positions, but for this year's portfolio, this is what I've done this year. And even this year, it's like I came back to Ethereum and that was my play for this year. Other positions that I'm looking at moving into next year, because I'm already starting to plan out next year, is going to be my not Avalanche. It's going to be Cosmos. I'm going to be looking at that. I'm looking at Juno, and I'm looking at Osmosis. I like a lot of the things that are going on in that ecosystem. As far as additional positions to pick up, I will probably grow those out. Here in a few weeks, coming towards the end of the year, I'm going to go through my strategy for what I do with these portfolios at the end of the year. So starting this year, since I'm documenting this journey, what I am doing is all of my positions at the end of the year will be converted over to a ledger. And that's just kind of cold storage. Those positions will be locked in place. It'll get it out of the way as from a calculation standpoint, as far as like my tracking for the next year. Now that I'm growing this out a little bit, it's just having these extra coins and distractions kind of messes with me a little bit. So the stuff that's ERC20 based will be going definitely into a ledger because I start my portfolio fresh every year. So next year we'll have a really good snapshot of what buys I have and what I'm doing with those positions, and how I'm coming about building up my portfolios for those years and seeing how those portfolios grow. It's actually pretty interesting. I've been doing this probably, I'd say, at least 3 years when I started really getting into looking at what I was buying and why I was buying it and how it benefited, how it didn't benefit, like the mistakes that I've made. Like this year was a particularly special year. There were some big mistakes made. But overall, being able to track it and look at what you did over a 12-month period gives you way more insight into the following year of what you're doing, where you want to put your money, and how you want to grow your money, and like what strategies and tactics you're going to use to make the most out of the money that you've got going into these things. So we'll be doing that. That's pretty much all I've got for this. Is just I got a little bit of GMX with my payout from Olympus, and I bought Ethereum, and the Ethereum play, I'm still following that same play. If I'm below my entry point, if I'm in the red as far as like where I'm at on that position, then all the money for the DCA goes into this. And what I'm doing is, as soon as this hits 0.5 Ethereum, which is half an Ethereum token, I'm taking it and making it into a liquidity position and staking it, and then I'm just not looking at it anymore unless I have to. Like I check it every once in a while, but as far as looking at it, I'm not doing anything with that position. Like I haven't even cashed out because like the percentage rate on it's so low, but I'd rather have it working than just sitting stagnant. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I got a few new subs this week, which is pretty cool. For my new subscribers, I'm 100% sure that this most likely is not the content that you saw me on to sub to this channel. And for that, I am sorry. I'm happy you're here. And some of that content might bleed over. I'm considering doing a playlist if I get enough traction on it or I get enough people over here from my panel activities that will be more towards what you saw me for before you got here. For the new subs, I want to give a shout out to D'Souza, Sensei Bags, and Gilded Quan. Like, I hope you guys enjoy this stuff. This is the stuff that I nerd out on. I have opinions on a lot of things, but like this is my bag right here. So like this is what I'm really into. I'm considering doing a separate playlist that'll be dedicated to definitely my highlights from the panels that I'm on, which will be fun. It'll be interesting for some of you. This is different than what I'm talking about over here most of the time, and then maybe some sort of reaction stuff. I do enjoy the time on the panel. It's just as far as my contribution to society at large, I feel like this journey is kind of equally as important and something that's like unique unto me. There's plenty of people out there doing the panel thing, and I respect that, and I'd rather support them than try to compete with them because I have more value to add to them in that fashion than being a distraction from the people that are on those panels. So I'll probably do a video that'll just specify which panels I'm on, give some roses, and why I'm participating on them. But for those of you who are subbing over and finding me on panels, I'll have a highlight playlist where like I might revisit those conversations that I'm gonna start working on. But bear with me, there'll be that piece of content also. It's just getting kind of evened out. This is something that I've committed to doing every week. So this is going to be the most consistent thing on here for right now. With that said, I hope you guys have a great week. Remember, hopefully none of you fumble the bag this weekend. Shout out to the bag chasers. Shout out to the new subscribers. I appreciate everybody who takes the time to watch these videos. And I hope you're finding value in it. When these videos go public on Wednesdays, for those of you who aren't in the bag chasers, if you're getting value out of this, because like I'm not really selling anything, but if you're getting value, share it, because there's plenty of money in these markets to be made by everybody, and this is just one person's journey. But I feel like I have a different perspective on this space since I've been in it for so long, and I'm not actively trying to shill any specific coin or sell you anything. So that's kind of my niche, is I'm not selling anything and I'm not shilling anything specific. I'm literally just tracking what I'm doing with my portfolio and how I'm building it out and going through that experience, win or lose. Like I'm letting you guys see what I'm doing. So let's scroll this down so that you guys can see the top 10 there. And yeah, you guys have a great week, and we'll be revisiting with you next Sunday for the back chasers, next Wednesday for everybody else. We'll see you soon. Bye.